Go, my terror top! Welcome to ALL GAS Chronicles. That means that I have to build a deck using only engine. That means no board breakers, no hand traps. I'm going to be playing it on the Yu-Gi-Oh! Omega ladder, and I have to choose going second. I'm also allowed to add auxiliary engines. Watch out. Welcome to ALL GAS Chronicles. I'll be commentating over the 3 matches I played today. We're starting here with ALL GAS Speeeeeedroid. That's the archetype I'll be playing today. We begin here against Striker Yummy. They lead engage into drones, go drones to summon token link off to the Kagari effect to bring back the drones. So they'll go drones to summon the token, synchro summon here into Cupsy Yummy Way. Cupsy Yummy Way will search 2, discard 1. They search 2, discard Nibiru here. Discard Nibiru because they're going first, so it doesn't really matter that much. They'll summon the Yummy Cookie, they'll link into Yummy Snatchy. They'll go Snatchy effect to place field. This one can reborn, so then they summon Cupsy to search. After the Cupsy search, they go and they synchro into Lolipo. Lolipo here, effect will reborn. After they reborn here, they reborn 2. After they reborn here, they synchro into Martial Model Marcher. They go Martial Model Marcher, effect reborn. And this is one of the first times I've been playing against Yummy, so still kind of getting the hang of it. They go Lolipo. Lolipo doesn't activate effect because it just banishes cards in grave or shuffles them back into the deck. Summon a second copy of the Link. Summon a second copy of Cookie. Synchro into Herald. From here, this is kind of how I know what I'm going to be playing against. I'm pretty sure they link into another copy of Snatchy with the Cookie. No, they do it with the synchro, yeah. They link into another copy of Snatchy, that way they can synchro twice on my turn. My draw for turn is Clearwing Synchro, or Clearwing Synchron. Clearwing Synchron isn't very good here, but we're always going to lead Terror Top since we special when we don't control a monster. There's an argument for Kashtira. There's an argument for Kashtira Unicorn here. I don't think it's a good argument, because it doesn't actually get our plays started, and it will require us to commit a normal summon. Here, they end up just booking my board, and I end up losing. So, yeah, GG. To start this one off similarly, engage for drones for Kagari for drones again. Drones, and then they synchro into Cupsy Way again. Cupsy Yummy Way again. Add the 2, pitch the card. This time it's a Fulos. Since I'm going second, that's one thing that's really, really nice about playing ALL GAS and going second, is that you never get Fulosed. Super good. Yeah. If you're good at playing through boards with all engine, just start playing everything ALL GAS. That's my proclamation. Here they go. They're climbing, link climbing, synchro climbing, summoning out Cupsy Yummy and Cookie Yummy. Cupsy Yummy is search, and then they go Lolipo effect to reborn. They reborn 2. This time it's Snatchy and Cupsy instead of one of the synchros. I think it's very interesting how they made the synchro Yummies tuners so that you can make Martial Metal Marcher to reborn. I think that's in some interesting synergy there. Not really sure why they did it though. I mean, the deck would have been fine by itself. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Anyway, they link it here into Yummy Snatchy. Synchro 4 into a Herald. And from this point, I realize I'm kind of screwed because I have Ultra Hound in hand that sends, I have Terror Top in hand that specials, and I have Tuckerton board that sends. This deck doesn't really play well around Macro Cosmos, as you can see here. So their end board here is probably pretty good, just with that. The books and the Omni, as well as the Macro, even if they don't want to use it. I do misplay here on not threatening a Terror Top or not threatening a Kashtira Unicorn in an attack position to try to beat over it. They know to set into the pendulum zones, because if it is imperm, then they know they can negate my effects, which is, that's just good practice. I summon here in defense. This is what I'm talking about when I say that I misplay. Search for Card Turbo in order to make a synchro, since we already have the Tuckerton Borg in hand. Activate to special itself from hand. Statue to Synchro. This is going to book my monsters. Effect. Flip face down. Yeah. Normal summon the Ultra Hound. Ultra Hound effect to send. Not very good here. Normally it'd be fine because we could send something to Reborn off the speed recovery, but since we are under Herald, it's not actually that good. Effect to tag out. Bring back both of these, the Cookie and the Cupsy. I just end up sending a spell because otherwise it would be banished. So there's no reason in sending something else. Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2, target a pop. Yep. GG. We go speed recovery to try to Reborn. That's at least something. You know, we can get a play started with Takaton Borg. And they bail that. I set one pass. That thinking maybe I can get through something here. Their stuff is boosted, though, because of the field spell, so I'm probably just screwed. On to the next game. This next one just ends up being a best of one. Okay. I end up having to choose to go second, because as per the rules. We open hand of all spells here. This is pretty good. The spells in Speeeeeedroid, like I said at the start, really pretty strong extenders, pretty strong starters. Speeeeeedroid wheel involves RNG, which is always really fun, but that doesn't mean that sometimes you just get completely fucked, because if you roll a 1, you just summon dice, and you're like, cool, this is a negated dice. It does absolutely nothing. Speeeeeedroid Scratch is good, but it does play into Droll in a deck that usually doesn't play into Droll, which I don't like, though Droll not as common as format, so that's actually probably fine. Speedlift, terrible dogshit card that I have to be playing in order to meet the 40 card requirement. Jiaolong, Holy Sue here, we go Raisin, Link at a Rock. Rock add back Raisin, that's fine. They go Jiaolong. Jiaolong reveal 2, this is to add. They add Caesar, okay. And then they go Yokel to summon the Holy Sue, oh I see. Yeah, that's pretty good. They go Yokel. Add Izuna. Pretty sure. Oh no, they had Lantern. Right, they're gonna make Ripper. Yeah, that's what they do. Yeah. Exceed for Ripper. Ends up being fine. Ripper's like whatever. Detach and add a case for K9. Activate case for K9 to add Izuna. This is where they add the Izuna. They go Caesar Valius, reveal 3. Pop their own card. Card a case for K9 triggers. Sets K9X force released. Vanquish Soul start. Set Snow Devil. And end phase. Okay. We draw a card turbo for turn here. It's alright. That's a fine draw. I don't know if we can guess through this board specifically. It seems like there's a lot of back row. There seems like there's a lot of cards in hand. The Holy Sue seems really tough for us as well. This is my first misplay here. Probably should pitch Speed Lift. Keep the other one in hand to pitch off Speeeeedroid Scratch. I end up having to pitch a monster for Speeeeeedroid Scratch. Really tough. Can't really do much about that. Go Scratch, pitch Card Turbo. Add Top, which, you know, Top is the greatest card in the deck. It's not even close. Top effect to search. And Takaton Borg, the classic. It's an inherent summon, which makes it the best. We'll go Takaton Borg effect. Oh, nope, they go Mad Love. Mad Love is to bounce the lowest defense, which ends up being Terror Top. We end up having to activate this. And we'll get a tuner onto the field, which does turn on our speed lift, admittedly, which is, you know, that's fine. Summon Dead Deco Duke. Oh, we end up summoning. Oh, right. I misclick here and summon Card Turbo instead. But I meant to summon Den Deco Duke in order to reborn the other Card Turbo that we had in the grave. Speed lift here. It's fine. It gives us a 4 on the field in order to make Crystal Wing, or Clear Wing, not Crystal Wing, which is fine. Synchro here in a Clear Wing. Not Fast Dragon, because Fast Dragon doesn't do that much. However, I will say Clear Wing Synchro Dragon kind of good against Vanquish Soul. Vanquish Soul K9 especially, because it can negate a lot of stuff, as you will see here. On summon, they'll go Holy Sue. I will chain the Clear Wing. They'll chain the Caesar. Revealing 3. This is going to pop my Clear Wing. And then I'll chain it again to the Borger because it targets a level 5 or higher monster, so you can do that, negate and destroy. This ends up scoring me a sick 2 for 1, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter at all. We can summon the top again. We have a speed recovery to do a backup play. But at this point, I realize I'm out of tuners and I'm not playing I'm not playing Juju in this deck, so because I'm not playing Juju, that means that 2 bodies, a level 3 tuner and stuff, that just doesn't do anything. At this point, I just surrender, scoop it up. He does quit after this, though, so yeah, the other guy quits after this. GG. I win because of that, but like, whatever. Moving into game 3. Game 3 is really, really good. Game 3 is versus Canine Crystron. This first game is pretty good. They go Yokel for Izuna plus itself. Izuna effect send Lupus. Add Yokel and add a second copy of Yokel. Go Ripper. Ripper send 1. Add Case for Canine. Go Case for Canine. Case for Canine. Add Canine AI7 Izuna. Add Lantern. Lantern effect target the Lupus. Summon 2. Exceed here into Riverstormer. I assume I'm playing Earth Machine here, but, you know, that would be too sick. Earth Machine, by the way, might play that one as all gas. That one's sick. Send Smiger. Smiger effect add. Link into Clockwork Knight. Clockwork Knight effect. Reborn. Recycler effect. Send 1. Then we go have Sulfidor. Activate Inclusion. Inclusion effect. Add Sulfidor. Sorry, that was Sulfafnir in the grave, not Sulfidor. Sulfafnir effect, Reborn, and Pitch. Pop a Crystron Inclusion. Summon the Sulfidor. Sulfidor effect. Send another Inclusion. Link 2 into SP Little Knight. And then from here, they end up ending on a board of Cyber Dragon Nova, SP Little Knight, and a Ripper, which seems pretty formidable, I won't lie, but especially for keeping 5 cards in hand. But we drew a lot of gas, especially that triple tactics talent. It's really big. I know that they have an Izuna in hand, so I'm not going to be playing around it, but I do have to keep it in mind. Off the Takatomi board, I'm going to summon Fukumoshi Piper. Fukumoshi Piper is going to excavate 1 and let me draw it. Ultra Hound here is perfect. Gives me a normal summon here off of our level, or off of our Link 2, rather. It's going to place the other Scale effect to synchro using about 2 cards in my Pendulum Zones. They chain Infinity to negate and destroy. That's fine. We can go for Thrust here. Thrust here is going to go for Scratch. I can consider Speed Recovery, but overall Scratch is a better play, because Speed Recovery isn't once per turn. Add Scratch, this will be fine, and then we go Link 2 into the Rubber Band Shooter. Go Rubber Band Shooter effect, we're going to banish 1 to add 1 of 2 cards, send the other one to the graveyard. It's gambling. Let's go. Banish a 7, this is going to add us a 3 or a 4. I end up losing the 50-50 here, by the way. I choose Dendin Deco Duke or Speedroid Double Yo-Yo. Go effect to do an additional normal summon. This will be Hound. I'll go Hound effect on summon. It'll send 1. This will be Dendin Deco Duke again. This will let me end up activating it to summon a tuner from my graveyard. From here, they go Canine and Zuna to summon, which is fine. We'll go Dice Target to change Modulate level to 2. From here, they SP away the Ultra Hound. Go Lupus to Exceed Summon. That's fine. They end up making a Durandal here. Durandal here is really strong, especially because I know for a fact that if they droll me and then activate Durandal, they go Chainlink 1 Durandal, Chainlink 2 droll, I'll shuffle away my hand and I'll instantly lose the game. So I have to be very careful around this. This is just why I go for Speed Recovery. Speed Recovery, Reborn the Double Turbo, go for... What I realize here is I can make Cork Shooter by reducing level by 2. So we synchro 3 into Cork Shooter. We can go Cork Shooter effect to reborn its materials, because if we search Spell Trap, we lose. Special back the Dice, special back the Turbo, or the Double Yo-Yo. Go Dice here, and I modulate that to 4, so I can make a synchro 8. That'll be Kite Drake, which will attempt to pop the whole field. I debate here whether going into something else is the right play, but no, it's Kite Drake. And we go Kite Drake because they have to use Durandal here, or they have to let their whole field get popped, and then I have Speedroid Scratch to keep winning. So they Durandal here, pop their Canine, and then I'm free to add because they've already fired their Durandal. They're going to droll me. Who cares? I end up adding another Speeeeeedroid Wing Synchron because I realized that it's not once per turn, or it's a soft once per turn rather. They droll me. Doesn't matter. From here, I can't even add. So, GG, buddy. GG. Yep. Scale, activate effect synchro. Summon the Clearwing. I can activate both effects. Colonel Clackers to summon a copy of itself from deck, and Clearwing Synchro to dump a card from deck. So I'll summon the Clackers. From here, I can make a board of, a fairly powerful board of a Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon and Clearwing Synchro Dragon, especially against Crystron. This is going to be really strong. A lot of their playmakers are level 5s or higher. Make the Crystal Wing. We go battle phase to walk over the Infinity and the Ripper. Make sure that they don't have that much crackback. They have 3 cards in hand, so should be pretty easy to clean it up from here. I'm not going to activate Colonel Clackers, no. Crystron Inclusion. That's pretty cool. Adding Crystron Tristaros. Pretty strong here. It is going to be super hard to get over this, though, especially with the Clearwing Wonder Engrave, which can blink one of my monsters, banish it, and return it to the field. From here, they're just going to activate a Sulfefnir. That's just, that's hard. It's a reborn, so usually I just let it go through because I have to pop a card. I can activate Clearwing Wonder to clear a once per turn restriction on one of my monsters, but there's no reason to do that. Reborn the Trist summon effect, and we can just Crystal Wing that right away, or Clear Wing that right away. It's level 7 or higher. Effect summon. We just blank their total turn there. They're going to end up doing some more Crystron stuff here, but I feel pretty insulated, especially after they wheel with Durandal. I feel pretty insulated. Yeah, they end up surrendering. We go to game 2. That was really strong. I feel really good about pushing through a lot of that interruption. Game 2, opening another hand. This one's pretty good. Colonel Clackers and Clearwing Synchron opened together is actually fine because you don't need to activate. You don't need to fire the Clackers. You can kind of make your opening plays and then go Clackers. We got Sulfador plus Sulfefnir. Send Smyger, that's fine. We'll go Smyger effect to add. Cluster here is really, really hard for me to get over, I will admit. They exceeded in a Ripper effect, detach, add, Blade Case for K9, activate Case for K9. Case for K9 will get Izuna. No, get a Yokel. Normal Yokel effect. Add Lantern. Regulus target. I haven't seen Regulus be played in this deck, but I mean, I get it. Regulus is a very, very powerful card, so I completely understand. And they'll go Lantern. Reborn plus something else. They're going to be able to make another rank 5 here, which is really powerful. Val and the supersized Sky Blaster. Very powerful here. Very, very powerful. The Crystron Cluster, though, is the main thing that I won't be able to get over here. We're going to scale Colonel Clackers. Scale the Wing Synchron. We'll go Wing Synchron. I guess I misplayed here. I should have committed before then to see if I could bait out the cluster, but it's still, it's just kind of a tough situation to be in. I'm going to be honest. Normal summon, special summon, activate Car Turbo. From here, they just Vimana me out of the game. I won't lie. They just Vimana me, flipping some stuff over, and once they do that, it's over. I can't do anything. Concede. Yeah. Into game 3, they lead with Inclusion. We've opened pretty good. We have a Wheel, a Scratch, and a Colonel Clackers with a Speeeeeedroid Duplicate to pitch. So, all things considered, that's pretty good. Sulfefnir, Sid Smyger, summon itself, pop itself, summon Sulfador from deck. Sulfador effect, we're going to add. Send Trist. We'll go Cluster to summon the Tristaros, and then we'll Synchro Summon. Skeletus effect will happen. Add back the Inclusion. Banish the Tristaros. Pop. Summon 2 from deck. Pretty good. Skeletus effect. Summon another one from deck. Exceed here into Nova. Exceed here into Infinity. Activate to Reborn. Sulfador. Exceed here into Chronomaly Vimana. Set 1, pass turn. Their hand was kind of weak. And the draw for turn being Terratop, big deal. That's incredibly good. Do have to mind the set 1 that they didn't set in a pen zone, so I don't assume it's probably imperm. I guess people also just aren't that used to playing against pendulums, so it could be that as well. Pitch the duplicate, which is an extender from the graveyard, so it's really good that we open both those at the same time, especially on the Terratop effect. Terratop effect is going to search for me Takatomborg. Takatomborg is going to special itself. Okay, we scaled this first. This is a misplay, but it doesn't end up mattering that much. Scaling Colonel Clackers here is like telegraphing what I'm going to do, and that like sucks. But whatever. Anyway, we activate Wheel, which was probably the wrong play, since it summons us our dice out from deck, and then we can link into Rubber Band Shooter. Rubber Band Shooter, I banish one of my Clear Wings. Infinity Negate, though, so I don't have to really think what it actually does. Fire off the Colonel Clackers. Colonel Clackers set the other scale. We'll go effect to Synchro. Synchro. Summon out Clear Wing Synchro Dragon. We will go for Colonel Clackers. Colonel Clackers summon itself, a copy of itself as a tuner from deck. We will go normal summon effect of the double yo-yo. Bring back the Red-Eye Dice. From here, we'll go Red-Eye Dice effect to modulate level. They don't let that happen, though. They negate with the mana, which is fine. Because we have the duplicate in the yard, we can kind of dance around what we need. We also have Takatomborg, which is very powerful. We'll go Fukimonoshi Piper. Fukimonoshi Piper effect. We're going to excavate 4, add 1 to hand. In this case, I maybe think of Kashtira Birth just as a way to eke out an extra interruption, but honestly, we're off to the races here, so we should be able to win. We're going to do a Synchro Summon for 12. Summon Crystal Clearwing over Synchro Dragon. That's the boss of the deck. It's very powerful. Activate, reduce level by 1, and summon. We end up summoning Glider number 2 here, which will just reborn that. Reborn that Clearwing used in the summon for the Synchro 12. We can make another Synchro 12 here. Making double Crystal Clear here is like actually enormous. Double Omnis that both float when they are destroyed or sent when they leave the field by an opponent's card. They float. What a absolutely crazy thing to say. I don't get my battle phase here. I don't know why. Maybe I just missed something. But yeah. Chaotic Elements. I'm reading the mana again to make sure that it doesn't do anything I don't know about. Try to negate here. They try to negate my negate with their negate, and then I negate their negate with my negate. So, yeah, pops both, makes both my guys really big. What are they going to do here? I'm going to be honest. I don't know. They attach one from grave, make itself bigger, switch to attack position, go battle phase. They run over my Colonel Clackers, go Colonel Clackers effect, summon a second copy of itself, or a third copy from itself from the deck of the tuner. Because it triggers on being destroyed, and the way the cards work is when they're used as Synchro Summon from the back row, they are destroyed. Activate the effect of the Zeus to pop all the cards in the field. Unfortunately, this triggers both of my floating effects. I misplay here. Admittedly, I do misplay here, and I summon Clearwing Rider, and I summon Clearwing Fast Dragon when I should have just summoned the level 10 and Clearwing Fast Dragon, because it's better. It's a better card. I just end up minusing myself for literally no reason. I can stop their Xyz summon, though, by using Glider number 2 to make both their monsters 10s. Having the Fast Dragon negate here, though, is pretty big. Like, it just helps. The Sylphefnir brings it back, pops itself. Add Inclusion. Activate Inclusion. Inclusion's strong, really strong here, but it doesn't really end up helping them since they can't add anything off of it. Another Inclusion effect. Special summoning Crystron. I think they think that the effects of the Glider go until end of turn, when in fact the effects of the Glider go indefinitely, which is actually kind of stupid, but it's awesome for me. SP dance, but they just end up adding my one guy that would have won me the game. Whatever. That's why it was a misplay. It didn't really matter that much. I'm still locking out this game, especially with that draw of Denedico Duke. Helps out just kind of enough. Specialing this card turbo. Normal summoning the Duke. We will link to another Rubber Band Shooter. Rubber Band Shooter is by far the best card in this deck. It's actually insane. I'll banish a Kite Drake to add 8. This gives me Clear Wing Synchron or a Terratop. Luckily, though, it is a Terratop because Clear Wing Synchron would not be able to let me extend here. Go effect here. Additional normal onto the Terratop. Add this Takentum special to Takentum We'll go Takentum effect. Ends up giving me a Fugimoshi Piper. Fugimoshi Piper effect will activate. I'll excavate 3, add 1 to hand. I get scratch here. It doesn't matter. We synchro. How do we do this again? Activate Fugimoshi Piper to reduce level by 2, so we have 5. Make Chunbara. And then once we make Chunbara, we're off to the races. It's a double attacker, and we can activate Card Turbo to make it gain 800. This is the perfect scenario. Den Daiko Duke to Reborn the Clearwing Synchron. And from here we can just get in for lethal. Boom. Boom. And a double attacker. This is level out. I'm coding for that crown, MBT.